welcome back to my channel. I am starting up a new series of battle royales that are going to be going for quite a bit. I'm going to go through no, not the entire, I picked out 15 horror movies from each year of the 2000s. It's the first decade. I'm going to battle out against each other each year, year by year. And in each episode, I'm going to take one pick from each year, put them in the ring, and battle them out until I have a winner from each year. And then I'm going to, at the end of the 15 episodes, I'm going to put my 15 winners against each other, and then I will give you a final ranking of the entire decade, I think, year by year. Which one, like from worst to best, as an entirety. Based on everything I've seen. But yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into it here and show you my contestants. One from each year, like I said. So representing the year 2000, my first pick is The Gift. Representing 2001, we have Valentine. From 2002, we have 28 Days Later. From 2003, we have Final Destination 2. From 2004, we have The Grudge. From 2005, we have The Exorcism of Emily Rose. 2006, we have Black Christmas, or Black Xmas. 2007, we have Trick or Treat. 2008, we have The Children. And 2009, we have My Bloody Valentine, the remake, obviously. So yeah, those were my first 10 watches. This is just completely randomized as well. I put 15 horror movies from each year aside in separate piles. And then as I'm going, I'm just going to watch one from each year, whatever one I'm in the mood for. So it's going to be a battle. So I just watched all 10 of these, and I wrote down my ranking so I didn't forget. So let's get on with it. Let's see what my first elimination is. And in last place for this episode is going to be 2008 getting eliminated, and that's The Children. This is I've talked about this movie on my channel before, actually. But this is a pretty good little underrated, like, hidden gem, sort of, because it's not, like, I had never even heard of it before a couple of years ago when I actually just found this random Blu-ray here and was like, oh, okay. But if you've seen, like I've said this before, if you've seen the original The Children from 1980, this is kind of a remake of that, just with a different, like, setting. It's weird. It's just like a reimagining of the same kind of story. It's basically a bunch of families just getting together at a winter a winter cabin. It takes place in the winter, which is awesome. I love winter horror. And their kids all start showing signs of, like, becoming zombies, I guess you could say. And basically things just start spiraling out of control, and one thing after another, and there's some gruesome shit in here. Just it's a solid movie. Now, for the most part, most of the movies I'm going to be covering, I think they're all must grabs. Because I am picking out some of my favorites from each year. Basically my 15 favorite horror movies from each year, and I'm going to be battling them all against each other. So going forward, I think pretty much all these should be added to your collection. And then in ninth place, we have the elimination of 2001. And that's going to be Valentine. This one has grown on me the last couple times I've watched it. I remembered hating it. Like the first time I seen it way back in 2001, probably when it came out. Did not like it at all. Thought it was a cheesy slasher that was predictable. And it still is that. I think it's just, as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate some of these ridiculous, cheesy slashers. But the kills are all okay. Who the villain is predictable right from the get-go, I think. Like, the first person you think it is, that's who it is. That's the one thing that kind of bugs me, but whatever. It is what it is. Not too many horror movies set on Valentine's Day, so I do have to say, of all the Valentine's Day movies I have seen, I think this one is the worst of them all, but it's still worth a watch. And, like, decent addition here from Scream Factory as well. Must grab. I'll show the back, but I don't think it matters. I don't think my camera is good enough to pick it up. But yeah, Valentine. And then we're going to have the elimination of another Valentine movie, and this is 2009. This is My Bloody Valentine. Pretty solid movie. I actually really like it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's just got some stiff competition, in my opinion, in this first round matchup here. But I love, what's his name? Dean Winchester. Jensen Ackles, jeez. As in this movie. I will be spoiling a bit too, but not a ton. But I think he does a good job. I think pretty much everybody does a good job here. And the only letdown is that it was supposed to be, it's shot in 3D, so there's a lot of the 3D gimmick taking place, which kind of, it can take you out of the movie, because when the axe, or not the axe, the mining pick comes flying at the camera and sticks into windows and stuff like that, you're just like, oh, okay, 3D. But whatever, it's still fun. Decent little pick. It's nothing. To me, it's not even close to as good as the original, but worth having in your collection. And then we have, in 7th place, we have the elimination of 2006. And that's Black Christmas, the remake here. This is another one that I have a lot of fun with. Decent, actually, kind of hard Blu-ray to get your hands on as well. For some reason, it's weird. You think one of the boutique labels would have picked up the rights to distribute this by now, but nope. Maybe one day we'll get like a nice, cool collector's edition. But here's the thing: I love Christmas horror, and I don't think that this belongs in the same category as the original movie. It's because the original movie is like, I don't know, it's a masterpiece. Where this one is just kind of fun and ridiculous. It's a 2000's remake. There was fucking 100 of these remakes in the 2000s where they're just kind of like fun versions of the original, of all the originals, which are more classics in my opinion. But the cast is excellent here. Everybody's freaking. It's just a who's who of like 2000s teen 20ish actors, and they all just get whacked one by one, and I like the little twist at the end with the extra killer. I think that both the killers look really cool, and this is way more gory than the original, but the gore to me isn't as scary. Like the original one is just more scary to me. So, but it's still fun. Must grab. Black Xmas. And then in 6th place, we have the elimination of 2004. And that's The Grudge. Here. This is the American remake of The Grudge. And sorry, my dog's trying to jump up on my lap here. I know this movie gets a lot of hate, but I have a lot of nostalgia with it. First nostalgic story is that this is like when me and my wife seen this in the theater. I just remember both of us being scared shitless in the theater when we watched this. And we came out of the theater, and I just remember us walking home, because we were young back then. And I didn't have a vehicle, so we were walking home. And I just remember us being terrified of it. Thought it was excellent. And then as my second story, nostalgic story, comes when my daughter, Samara, I decided to throw this on when she was about 8 or 9, and she watched this with me, and it was just me and her in the dark room. And the part in this movie where she's coming up under the covers, and the blonde girl's laying in bed, and she lifts the covers up, and it's just her face under the covers right at her. Samara climbed up on top of my couch and was screaming. She was so scared. So just fun memories, and it's creepy. It's a bit slow, but I enjoy it. I like The Grudge. And then my top 5 here, and in 5th place is the elimination of 2005, and that's The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This is just a really quality courtroom drama exorcism movie, where they're really making you think about the idea of exorcisms and whether or not you believe in them or not. And it's just really well made, and I think Jennifer Carpenter gives an excellent performance, maybe the best performance of her career, with some of her body contortion and stuff. Like it's pretty good stuff. Like, there isn't a ton of horror, but when the horror scenes are there, I think they're actually pretty creepy, and you really feel for her character. And watching the courtroom battle play out and hearing both sides of the story, the priest who performed the exorcism versus the family versus the state. I actually am really sucked in on this. It's an excellent movie. I think that it is a must-own in any horror fans collection. Must grab that one. And then in 4th place, we have the elimination of the year 2000. And that's The Gift from director Sam Raimi. And I really like this movie. This is the 4K Scream Factory as well. I don't think it has reversible art or nothing. I don't think there would be reversible art on a movie like this. No, there isn't. But it does come with the Blu-ray and the 4K, which is nice. Scream Factory. Or a lot of 4Ks are starting to not come with the Blu-ray editions anymore. But just an excellent movie with a stellar cast. And everyone's just nailing it. Cate Blanchett, like, her acting in this is just awesome. Like, I just love her acting. To be honest, everybody. Keanu Reeves is just a miserable piece of shit in this movie. Giovanni Ribisi, his story arc. This movie, to me, always plays out kind of like an anthology, but just seen through the eyes of Cate Blanchett's character here. Because all the different storylines are happening, and they're all to do with her, and they all have different outcomes. And it kind of reminds me of an anthology film, just not one, I guess you could say. But excellent. If you haven't seen The Gift, man, this is Sam Raimi. Such a good director. This was also written by Billy Bob Thornton, who's also, I've come to appreciate him as a writer. I've seen a few of his movies that have been written by him, and they're all really intriguing thrillers. This does borderline on horror. It's more of a thriller with horror elements, but must own, must grab, must see. Now my top 3. In 3rd place, we're going to have the elimination of 2003. And that's from my Final Destination 5 film collection here. That is Final Destination 2. Which, in my opinion, has the best opening scene of all the films. I think that this opening with the highway car crash, I'm not alone in this. I've heard a lot of people talk about how it's one of their favorite scenes as well, favorite openers. But it's just brutal. I love the way it just makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, there's nobody that's seen this movie that drives behind any sort of transport truck carrying things the same. Like, it's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, especially if it's a log truck. And here in Canada, we actually get a lot of log trucks on the highway. It's not that rare. I've seen them plenty of times. So it's kind of creepy. But yeah, I love the opening. And the rest of the movie's really solid as well. But I think because the opening is so good in this one, that the rest of the movie kind of falls a little bit flat. Like, the kills aren't... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's my number 3 of this episode, and this is a stacked episode in my opinion. And I just have a lot of fun with Final Destination 2. It's that simple. Just a turn-on comfort movie, which is weird to say about Final Destination movies. And then in second place, this was hard here. This was a tough top 2, but I'm going to be eliminating 2002. And that is 28 Days Later. With a slipcover Blu-ray, which, honest to God, is pretty hard to get your hands on. Just the regular standard edition Blu-ray here in Canada goes for between $80 and like $150. People I've seen on eBay sales where they sold it for like $150, but then the majority go for around $80 just for the Blu-ray. And then to have a slip on it is actually a bonus there. But yeah, I really thought that this was going to get a re-release when 28 Years came out on Blu-ray, but it didn't. They didn't re-release this or 28 Weeks. So this one stays expensive. A lot of collectors hate it when they re-release movies because of how it kills the price, but I don't. Like, I want a freaking collector's edition of some of these movies. I don't care. I'm not planning on selling my collection, so I don't give a shit how much things are worth. But yeah, 28 Days Later. Anybody that's seen it knows that the filming style is terrible, so it doesn't need a 4K or nothing. To be honest, this Blu-ray is pointless as well. It looks exactly the same as the DVD because of the way it was filmed. It just looks shitty. There's no way around that. There's scenes in the dark where it's so not blurry, but like pixelated, I guess you could say, and film grain to insane levels. But that doesn't take me out of it. It just feels like a cheaply made movie, but with solid suspense horror. Like, he wakes up, Cillian Murphy wakes up, or Cillian Murphy. I always call him Cillian. Cillian Murphy wakes up in the hospital, and he just comes out, and the whole world's gone. And the mystery building is really awesome. And there's some heartbreaking moments. Brendan Gleeson's character, where the crow drips blood into his eye, and he starts to snap in front of his daughter. That scene's really intense and brutal. Unsettling. And then the two girls getting to the military camp, and it becomes like two girls with, like, soon as they roll up to this place, you get the feeling that this isn't gonna end well, because it's just two girls in a whole mansion full of men that are lonely. So it's not gonna end well, and it doesn't. And then Cillian Murphy's final act here, coming in and saving the day and ripping ass, basically. Solid stuff. I think it's a great zombie movie. Not for everybody, but I think it's great. But 2007 is going to be my first winner, and that's Trick or Treat. One of the greatest anthology movies ever made, in my opinion. And it just happens to be set on Halloween. This might be... Got some reversible art there. For anybody that doesn't have this one, I'll show it off a bit. I think all the storylines in this are excellent. You got the 4K. What else does it come with here? Just the 4K, I think. Yeah, just the 4K. So if you don't have 4K, don't grab this version. Comes with Incubus card. Comes with some art cards. I really think that all the storylines in this are very well done. And I love Sam as a character. I think all the acting's solid. The soundtrack's awesome. I think it's the most Halloween feeling movie I've ever seen, which I think that's why I love it so much. I just love the feeling of how Halloween it is. Tons of art cards here, holy shit. And then it comes with a poster, two-sided as per usual. You got your art here, and you got your art here. Good stuff. I love the werewolf girl storylines, what that leads to. I think the transformations are all pretty creepy. All of it. I think this is just a solid movie. It comes with a cool little booklet here too, with lots of words, like lots of like essay type stuff about the movie, which I love. Usually not a huge fan of these when they're just like a picture book. There are pictures in here, but I like being able to read more about the storyline. So they give you a lot there. Yeah, Trick or Treat takes my first episode. 2007 has its first victory. And I needed to check out this 4K because it was the first time, like I bought this back when it came out, and I hadn't even watched it yet, so I was like, yeah, I'll give that one a watch first. And sure enough, it's my only 5-star in this episode. This is a 5-star movie to me. 28 Days is a 4.5. So this one had to be the one that takes it. So I will leave yous at that, and I'm gonna bring you round 2 of this. Probably within a couple of days, because I'm already halfway through my next 10. And just going to keep going. I'm actually going to finish this series for a change. I know I always bail on them all and never come to the conclusion, but this one, I am going to finish it. And when I'm done doing the 2000s, I will hit another decade. And I'll do a 10, 15 movie battle royals on those ones as well, representing each year. I hope you enjoy watching it. I enjoy making this. This is my kind of content. See, I kept trying to get off and do deep movie reviews and stuff. I don't really enjoy doing that. Like, it feels like work, where this is just like fun. Get to watch movies and rank them and make it fun with my wrestling ring and stuff. So I'm gonna stick with this and continue doing this for a long time to come. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next one.